colleague, then unfortunately there's no point you being backstage. No, Adam, you can't ask any questions unless you're. I'm on the page right now, and 340, the page 340, and I'm looking for.
Because I cannot see, bro. I'm sorry, it's not clear for me.
I can't see. Sorry, page 340. You said, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What? Not 320. Not 320.
Yeah. I'm going down now.
Even though you don't have to show it, they can look it up. If you want to show it, okay, we can read inshallah together.
Yeah, I'm here now. I just want the audience to also see what you are saying. Oh, here we are. We're on page 314 now. And yeah, I'm there now. Page 340.
Yeah, no, bro, can you see it? If there was anyone, yeah, read it.
The claim that the crucifixion was a fraud, that Jesus did not die on the cross, and that a substitute, Simon of Cyrene, took his place instead.
Yes, and you can read the details all around the book. Yeah, I cannot see very good. That's good. You highlight it now. Now I can see it. So what I quote you up is written from this book, and he's telling you that someone replaced Jesus. He said that in the early time of Christianity, some Christians believed that Jesus was not crucified and someone replaced him. Why? Because the verses I quote from John and Numbers, that Moses did not lift up a real snake. He made look-alike of a snake made of brass, and he hung it on the pole. So therefore, the one who should be hung on the pole, or what they call cross, should be likeness of Jesus, not Jesus. So that's what they believe, based on the Bible. And they believe exactly like them, that Jesus is God, and Jesus is the Son of God. So this is Christian sources, not Islamic sources.
I'm going to just save this book onto my computer because it's very beneficial. Adam, you're backstage, but unfortunately I can't let you come on because you broke the rules. So unless your friend who is supposed to be in hiding from the religious police living in America, if he can join in, you've got 1 hour. So my advice to you is to go and find your friend, and then you will have 1 hour before we end this show, because at 7 p.m., as you know, you can, by looking at my channel, we've got another live stream at 7 p.m. straight after this show. So Adam, if you want to stay backstage, you can, but I won't be letting you on until your buddy hops on. Bye. He's gone.
So that's okay. I don't mind him. I told you, if they are not two, with all due respect to you and to everybody, Adam is no match to me. I don't deal with him. He's insulting, cursing too much. So if they are two...
Okay, I just want to make a quick reminder, brothers and sisters. There's people asking, what is Brother Muhammad talking about? This particular individual that Adam wanted to join him, his name is Mu'taz. I was told by Adam that this particular individual, he is an ex-Muslim living in Saudi Arabia, and he didn't want his face to be put onto the thumbnail. And later on, I actually find out he actually is not living in Saudi Arabia. He's actually living in the USA, and he's got a GoFundMe page, and he's scared for his life that the religious police from Saudi Arabia will come to the USA and take him out. But 4 days ago, he was on a live stream. As you can see, he's the person on the right with the baseball cap. So he was quite happy to have his picture shown on a live stream. But all of a sudden, he doesn't want to come on and debate. And the option was there for both of them to debate Aladdin. So 2 versus 1. So unfortunately, they broke the promises, they broke the initial agreement, and now they have backed out. If you saw my community post, initially I put his picture onto the thumbnail. Adam asked me to remove it because I was told by Adam that the religious police are looking for him in Saudi Arabia and he's worried about his life. Then I changed the thumbnail to Aladdin and just Adam. Then I was informed that it's a total lie. He's actually living in the United States of America. And so, guys, that's the latest. And I do apologize on their behalf for chickening out. But the opportunity was there, 2 versus 1. And they unfortunately have backed out in the discussion, which they suggested, to the best of my knowledge, the crucifixion is Jesus God, and then there's a third one. I actually forgot what that one was, but they are the ones who initially agreed to everything. So let me, before I bring Brother Aladdin on, it was his idea. As you can see, the email is quite clear from Adam. Sure, on the topic, let's do the crucifixion. Does he want to double up and bring a friend, and I'll bring one? But Aladdin said he didn't want to bring anybody. He's quite happy to debate by himself, willing to debate both of them, and that's what happened. And then Adam writes that he's in a country where they're trying to kill him. But in reality, he's actually living in America. He's not living in Saudi Arabia or any other Muslim country. But then they agreed to everything, but now they've backed out. We've got somebody backstage, Brother Ihsan. If you just... Wa alaikum salam, rahmatullah. I'm assuming you're a Muslim, brother? Yes. We got to make it fair, brother, that your camera must be on at all times. Otherwise, I think it will be difficult for you to come on, if you don't mind. I'm going to bring you onto the stage now, brother. Have you got a question regarding the crucifixion? And I'll bring you on now. You can ask Brother Aladdin a question. I don't want any statements. We don't want to continue with this back and forth with those two individuals. If you've got a question, then you can ask a question, brother. I don't mean to be harsh, or I just want to be firm so it goes across the board. So I'm treating everybody the same. Bismillah.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam, rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Yeah, sorry, I just joined this now. I don't know all the background. All I just wanted to give my statement is I fully agree with you. I've actually spoken to this Adam King and his allegedly ex-Muslim friend in the past on a stream. And I think, I don't want to be disrespectful too much, but I think one thing with them is they lack a lot of, I think, intellectual honesty. So, for example, the Mutaz guy, he'll always make her like, my life's in danger. And, I'm like, I'm risking so much. But I've never been convinced that he lives in Saudi Arabia. And once I was speaking to him and he was screen sharing, and a bit like when you're on YouTube, it says like YouTube UK or YouTube GB or something. Now, Allah knows best, but I'm sure when I saw his YouTube thing, because he was toggling from window to window, and it said like YouTube Netherlands. And I think that was a big giveaway. So I just feel like his kind of shtick is, I'm like a soldier of Christ. I'm risking a lot. But he's not, he's living in a safe place where he knows a single hair won't be harmed. He's living in bubble wrap, and he says very horrible things about the Prophet, very horrible things about Islam. And, when I first spoke to Adam, I thought he was a bit more sincere, but I've just noticed now, I think he's after clout and he's after views. If you look at his channel, he is like, being even, the way he'll try and call all the Dava brothers, he'll go join the channels, including yours, and he'll just try and say something very provocative. And conversely, I watched your channel, brother. I watched it, and you guys have such good dialogue with the Christian brothers. Like there's that guy who's the Unitarian, and there's this other brother, forgive me, I don't know his name, but he always wears a T-shirt, Jesus is God, the African-American brother. So I just thought I'd say, I know maybe, sorry, I didn't know what the topic was, but what I want to say, I've spoken to both of those guys at length. What they'll do is they'll say something like this. they say, oh, your prophet was really bad, he did this, he did that, he was like a warlord. So then I said to them, but when his uncle was brutally killed, Hamza, how come he forgave everyone? Then they're like, oh, this is what they said, oh, he's a racist because he said, obey your leaders even if they look like raisins. But I said, if you take away the vocabulary of raisin, another synonym for that would be black. So if he's saying obey your black leader, shouldn't we be looking at the message rather than the vocab? Then he's like, oh, he hates black dogs. So you see, it goes from warlord to raisins to racism. So warlord to racism to dogs. So mistreating people, mistreating a community, and then it's like, oh, let me jump on the dogs. So you just can't make it up. And then the classic stick they have about, oh, Allah is the best of deceivers. It's all the usual stuff. And I remember once this Mutaz guy was like, oh, because I was saying, he's like, why do you believe in God? I go, I've always in my fitra believed in one God. And he's like, well, some people only believe in Satan. And I was like, yeah, but I believe in a God who created the heavens, the earth, the sun, the moon. And he's like, yeah, what about Satan? I go, well, wasn't Satan created? Doesn't we all, So I think they lack intellectual integrity. And the thing with Adam, poor guy, he looks at things like quantum physics. He looks at all these
brother,
things.
I don't want to. I really appreciate your comments and you coming on, but I don't want to go into too much.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry,
anymore.
I just thought I was expecting a session I was expecting to watch something, but clearly they've chickened out. But what I'm saying is, as someone who's spoken to them as a non-debater, they really lack intellectual honesty, and may Allah guide them. May Allah guide all of us. But keep doing what you're doing, brother. Sorry, forgive me.
You, brother. No, thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
MashaAllah. It's really nice to have people who are willing to. That's beautiful, brother. It's nice to listen to him because this was not a setup. I never met this brother before who just came on, and to be honest, he echoed what everybody else has been thinking from the situation where we've seen this individual at Speaker's Corner. We know what he was like. We gave him the opportunity to have a formal debate with himself and his so-called ex-Muslim dude, but they both chickened out. But we're going to go to some questions. Brother Ustad Aladdin, I've got a question which is from our brother Mehdi.
Before you ask a question, can I say something, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah, of course, go ahead.
Yes. Because the brother mentioned something, and I have to clarify it. He mentioned something about racism, and he said that raising her. He quoted a hadith, and that's one of the misconceptions that almost Christians bring. The hadith said, the Prophet said to Abu Dhahr, listen and obey your chief, even if he's an Ethiopian with a head like a raisin. So they consider this Christian as a racism. Actually, the meaning of the hadith, it is as if his head is like a raisin, indicating the dark color of curly hair. That is the meaning. The hadith said, believer must obey his guardian, whoever is appointed by him is his guardian, regardless of his gender or color, even he was a black. So this shows you justice, not shows you racism. So when he says his reason, it doesn't mean as they said racism. It is like a reason indicated the dark color and curly hair. If you read actually in the Bible itself said that those Ethiopians are Satan, black, and they should be killed. That's what the Bible says, which unfortunately I noticed so many brothers didn't know about that. I'll post you the verse in what do you call this in open chat so everybody can see this verse for yourself. When it talks about those Ethiopians say that they are black like Satan and they should be killed. This is the verse.
I just find it ridiculous, Ustad, that they mention Islam and the same term racism. Islam nullified, got rid of racism. The Prophet's the lady who raised the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was Ayman, and she was from she was Abyssinian, and she was African, and the Prophet ﷺ always used to say, that is my mother, Ayman, who raised the Prophet ﷺ, who suckled him and looked after in his early days, because of course we know the mother of the Prophet ﷺ passed away, and Ayman, and then of course Usama ibn Zayd radiallahu an. This is ridiculous. The fact that they point fingers saying that in Islam the Prophet ﷺ looked down at black people is far from the truth. It is so far from the truth. I just find it shocking, and sometimes it's just dishonesty on their behalf, because the amounts of racism within the Bible and within Christianity is not comparable at all, as for the KKK and much more. But nevertheless, Brother Aladdin, I'm going to let you continue.
If they talk about racism, I just have a simple question. Actually, I was trying to answer what the brother said. If they talk about racism, I have a question only for Christians. Why did your God came in an image of a man, not an image of a woman? That's racism. Why he has only begotten son, not only begotten daughter? That's racism against women. As simple as that. Yeah, as simple as that. Exactly.
You should have. I shouldn't say this. He should have come as a neutral gender. I shouldn't. That way, it's fine.
I think someone is backstage saying salam, brother.
No, there's nobody. I've got nobody backstage right now. But the question the brother mentioned is a very good question for you. Can you please ask Brother Aladdin what's his knowledge of the earliest Christian Arab Bedouin, and where do the Palestinian Christians fit onto the historic scale?
As far as I know, Palestinian historic comes to Gaza area all the way going to West Bank. That's historically, that's what I know according to my knowledge. I'm not so good in history. So history tells you, even if you read the Bible, in the Christian Bible, you read the name Palestine more than 25 times. It says Palestine in English, and in the Arabic version Bible, it says Palestine, and it talks about them living in Jerusalem, according to the Bible itself. So when Christians claim that Palestinians don't belong, or Palestinians historically don't belong to the land, it is for the Jew. They are mistaken, because even though if you open the oldest Bible, I have a copy here. When you buy it from any bookstore, usually the old Bible has a map at the end. If you open the map and you see the map, you won't see Israel there. You will see written there Palestine in Arabic and Palestine or Palestine in English. So the Bible itself confirms that Palestine is part of what they call Jerusalem. They were in this part of the world. I will try to quote you the verses. Let me open, because I cannot memorize them. Where the Bible actually mentioned Palestine by name. It is in the Bible. If you can stay with me after just a few minutes, because I have the file somewhere. Because it's not the topic actually, but I have the file. Yeah, you can read this in Exodus chapter 15, verse 14. It says Palestine. You can read this in Psalm chapter 108, verse 9. It says Palestine. You read in Psalm chapter 87, verse 4. It says Palestine. You read also in Psalm chapter 83, verse 7. It says Palestine. You read in Psalm chapter 60, verse 8. It says Palestine. Joel chapter 3, verse 4. It says Palestine. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 31. It says Palestine. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 20. Verse 29. It says Palestine. Exodus chapter 15, verse 14. It says Palestine. Genesis chapter 21, verse 34. It says Palestine's land. Palestinians' land, referring to Palestine, Jerusalem. So this is biblical evidences. There are so many verses. I don't need to read them all for you. Just go to the Bible and search for the word Palestine or Palestine, and you'll find it there. So biblically, the Bible says the people who are living in this land were originally Palestinian, not Jew. So I hope that this answers the question.
I'm just bear with me, brothers and sisters. I'm just uploading something right now. let me just also mention that there was a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let me just.
Because, brother, I will have some other points regarding crucifixion, inshallah.
Yes, okay. I just want to touch on this, and this is very important, and then I'm going to give the rest of the time to you, our teacher.
There was
a companion of the Prophet ﷺ called Julaybib. Hopefully I pronounced that name right. And he was a black man from the Ansar. And he was actually had a physical disability, and people would make fun of him. The non-Muslims would make fun of him, but rather he was dark-skinned, short, and due to his physical disabilities, people used to make mockery of him. And of course, in that time, finding a spouse was quite difficult. But the Prophet ﷺ ordered a lady from the Ansar to marry this particular individual because he wanted to get married. This is very powerful hadith, brothers and sisters, and the story of Julaybib, I would definitely recommend you guys to go and research. And this companion, even though he had a disability and he was African, or the term black, if you want to put it like that, he was martyred in one of the battles. Subhanallah. And the Prophet ﷺ said about this companion, he was disabled, he was black, right? Subhanallah. The Prophet ﷺ said about this companion, this man is from me and I am from him. Now, I just want you, brothers and sisters, to reflect on that. We have to get rid of this concept that Islam has some traits of racism. Far from it. It's totally far from racism. Islam brings everybody together. The Imam of the masjids here in Coventry, majority of them are Somalian, from Eritrea, Ethiopian, Tanzania. Subhanallah. I don't understand when people, just because your churches are all white,